So off canvas, actually this off canvas was not there in Bootstrap actually before version 5. So the purpose of this off canvas is to create the sidebar, okay, responsive sidebar. Generally, creating sidebar is easy, but to create the responsive sidebar means it should appear only when we need it, not in the other situations. For example, if we see this simple image here, the sidebar is not appearing normally. Whenever we need, so we have to click on some icon so that it will be appeared here. You might have seen these kind of responsive sidebars in many modern web applications. So before Bootstrap 5, if you want to create such a sidebar with responsive nature or a dynamic sidebar, we have to create this by using CSS only. That was the situation before Bootstrap 5. In Bootstrap version 5, so they have introduced the off canvas, and it is really very easy to create such kind of responsive sidebars by using this off canvas. If you want to develop this with CSS, one should write JavaScript also. So without writing JavaScript, we cannot create such kind of sidebar. But this off canvas is designed by the Bootstrap behind the scenes, and the JavaScript code is also written. Now, just by using some good number of line classes here, we can create this collapsible sidebar, and this is almost very much required for every web application. Okay, so let us see how to create such kind of off canvas in our application. So very limited number of classes are here. That's why it is really easy to create and easy to use. So this off canvas contains two parts, off canvas header as well as the body. No footer will be existed for this. And you can keep the content whatever you want in the header as well as the body. So that content will be of your choice. There is no specific content. Generally, you can place some unordered lists, or you can place some drop downs. You can use whatever the content you want. But here I'm going to explain you how to create such kind of off canvas, and you can keep whatever the content you want inside of the off canvas regarding your requirement. So here we are going to use just 1, 2, 3, and 4 classes to create the off canvas. So without delay, let us start this process. As usually, I have taken the empty template here. The first important thing is that empty template should be added with the Bootstrap CSS as well as the Bootstrap JavaScript also. If you forgot to add this JavaScript link, so all the components whatever need the support of JavaScript like collapse, dropdown, modal, off canvas, carousel, they won't work. And I have opened parallelly CSS also here. Okay, so whenever if you want to write any CSS, you can use it. When you open the HTML and CSS both one besides each other in this way, so it is very easy to create an element here or add an element and write the styles, and you can see the output also in the browser very easily. So that is the approach really helpful to us. As of now, I have opened here and the body is empty and nothing is there. And we need to write very few CSS here. Okay, if it requires, we can write CSS, otherwise we can just leave it empty for now. Okay, so now the container is also ready. So here I am going to create a off canvas. So off canvas means it is nothing but a sidebar, guys. Remember, don't get confused with this new terminology. It is just a sidebar with some responsive and a dynamic nature. So to create this off canvas, so first we should use the root level class called as off canvas, and inside of that it contains two children, off canvas header as well as off canvas body. Let me quickly implement that. First one is off canvas, that is the parent element. Instead of that, I can take two children. One of them is off canvas hyphen header, and the next one is off canvas dot body. Now I forgot to keep dot off canvas hyphen body. Okay, now the off canvas is ready, which is totally empty, and it is appearing to be very simple. And really, it is so simple. Okay, so once the off canvas is ready, then you can keep the content whatever you want here. Okay, so as of now, I can just keep some content in the header. Just let me write some header here. And in the body also, I can just write body. Later, we can fill with the meaningful content in header as well as body also. Now the off canvas is ready. Let us open the browser and see. You cannot find anything here. The reason is, so off canvas is dynamic. That means it should be invoked by some user action, just like how the modal is invoked, how the collapse has invoked, like that. This off canvas need to be invoked by the some event. How can we generate the event? The simple way to generate an event is by clicking on an element. That can be a button or hyperlink or anything. By clicking on element, so click event will be generated. Of course, we can discuss about these events in detail when we move to the JavaScript very soon. Until then, we are going to just depend upon the click event. So to invoke this off canvas, you can take a button here. Okay, now I'm going to take a button to invoke off canvas. This button I'm taking here to invoke the off canvas, and I think you know very well how to create the button. So button dot btn hyphen success. You can take the color whatever you want. Let me name it as secondary. It looks beautiful. Okay, on top of the button you can take the text whatever you want. And the thing is, how can you connect these two? We already learned the way to connect these things by using data BS target. Okay, so we can use the same strategy. So here we can take some ID. Let me take it as something like sidebar, and I have to connect this entire off canvas to this button. That means when I click on the button, it should respond. How can I connect? We already learned data BS hyphen target. This special attribute can be used to connect hash sidebar. Okay, now this button is connected with this. Whenever I click on the button, this element will be get activated. Okay, and the next thing is toggle effect. We have to give the toggle effect. What kind of toggle effect we are giving to this button? Already we worked with collapse toggle effect, modal toggle effect, drop down toggle effect. Okay, now we are going to work with the new toggle effect. I think you can easily guess, that is off canvas toggle effect. Data hyphen BS hyphen toggle is equal to off canvas. That's it, guys. Now the button is ready. Okay, let me open and see. The button is here. Let me keep the content to the button to the center of the page for better appearance. I can write d hyphen block mx hyphen auto. Okay, and after that margin top of 5. So now the button is beautifully located in the center of the page and looking cool. Let me click on this button so that you can see something here which is not looking good. The reason is, here we have to inform at which side the sidebar has to appear. Actually, the sidebar can be appeared from 4 locations: left side, right side, top and bottom. So now you can decide the direction of this off canvas by using these 4 properties. Now you can apply these 4 properties as the subclass for this off canvas. Off canvas start means from the top. Let me copy this and along with the off canvas write it here. So after writing it here, let me click on it. You can see the off canvas is appearing from the start. Start means left side, end means right side, top and bottom are the remaining. Now you can see here when I click on it, so it is appearing with the animation. That means this animation effect is also written behind the scenes. That's why you can observe it is appearing very smooth transition. And when you want to close it, you can click somewhere automatically. It is almost very similar to modal, but its use case is little bit different. Okay, and the JavaScript plugins that are used to create this off canvas is also different when compared with the modal. Okay, it is ready. As of now, I have not placed much content, just I have taken some sample data. Now you can decide the direction here. Start, let me give end here, off canvas end. Now the off canvas will appear from the end in the sense that is right side, dynamically with smooth transition in this way. And the next class is top, off canvas hyphen top. You can easily guess that will appear from the top. And the last one is bottom here. When I click on it, that will appear from the bottom. Okay, so for example, if I have given off canvas hyphen start, and let me open this in the mobile view. Okay, so this is the mobile view here. So when I click on this in mobile view also, you will get these kind of things. You might have seen many websites or web applications contains these kind of design. So actually to design this, it is quite complicated process. But with the support of the Bootstrap, we just created within 2 minutes. And the classes are also very limited. Just we have hardly used 3 or 4 classes to get such a huge effect here. Okay, so now if you want to add something to the header, you can use the class called as navbar, off canvas header, off canvas title. It will make the title to appear properly. Okay, so now you can add some title here. For example, I can take some h4 element here. Let me add some title. Sidebar content. Okay, just some title. So to appear this properly, to display this properly, we can use the class called as off canvas hyphen title. So that is the class here. So this will make the title to appear in the right location. Let me check this. Now you can see, so the title is appearing here. It is well formatted by taking the proper padding from left side and top and all. And as usually, I want to add some button here. For example, if the sidebar is appearing, how can we close it? So just like the modal can be closed by clicking outside, the sidebar also can be closed. But to give more comfort to the end user, let us keep some close button, because keeping the close button is very, very simple. Let me do it now. So in the header, after this, I want to keep the close button. So creating the close button is very simple. You can take the button and apply the class called as btn-close. So this will give the icon here. Once I click on it, you can see the close button icon here, but no functionality. To give the functionality, so we will use the button called as data bs dismiss. Okay, so by using that property, already we used that property for modal also, data-bs dismiss. There we have given as modal, but now it is not modal and it is off canvas. So now we can give off canvas. Then what happened? The off canvas will be dismissed. Let us check it once. Click on it. Yes, it is working. Now this off canvas can be closed by the user either by clicking on this close button or by clicking at somewhere else itself. Okay, and now you can just focus on the body and you can add the elements whatever you want in this place. So that's it, guys. The way of creating the off canvas is completed successfully. So it is quite easy because of support, great support of Bootstrap. Otherwise, it takes around some 40 minutes to 1 hour to design with such a smooth animation. But now it is just a matter of 5 minutes to design the shape. Of course, adding the content is of your choice. Depending upon the application requirement, you can add whatever you want. So the off canvas is completed. The next one is, of course, the last component is carousel. We might have seen these kind of carousels almost in many websites. Okay, so it is not really a new thing, but it's very first time to implement, but we have seen these kind of carousels almost in every website. What is carousel? It is pure technical term, but actually it is a photo slideshow. That's it. Photo slideshow means the slideshow will start automatically and it will continue to slide with some given delay between these consecutive slides. So that is called as technically carousel in Bootstrap, but it is nothing but a photo slideshow. So now I want to create this photo slideshow here. So here also creating the only carousel is very simple. But once you look at this carousel, here it contains not only the photo slideshow, it contains some icons at left and right side. These are called as the previous button and next button. And you can see some text on top of the images. That content is not part of the image. We have added the content on top of the image. That is called as the image caption. And in the bottom, you can see the required slide selection. This is called as the indicators. So by adding all these features, the size of the carousel will be huge. But if you want to create just the photo slideshow without these previous or next buttons, without this content, without these indicators, it is very quite simple. So let us start creating the carousel, very simple carousel first. Later, I will add all the things one by one to that. So here the important thing is carousel is a very important part of the web application, because this carousel contains the carousel explores very meaningful information about our web application, so that the meaningful images we have to take as part of this carousel. And when you download images, actually the images of different sizes, when you create the carousel with different sized images, really it looks very awkward. That's why as the UI developer, you should learn using some photo editing tools also, like Photoshop or any other simple photo editing tools. Knowledge is also required. Then you can create some images and you can use the content whatever you want. So for example, I said previously we worked with some Udemy website here. I ask you to create this. So once you observe this Udemy here, so what is this actually? So let me copy this, copy image address and paste it here. I have copied the image. Now you can see this is the image, but actually this image might be directly, it's not available. Okay, so then with the help of the photo editing tools, they can take some background and they can cut a person here and place it. That's why these applications are looking unique. In the same way, if you look at this, let me copy the image address. Here also, this image is not directly available. Okay, so let me paste and check it once. This is the image here. So now how they have created this image? If you search in the internet, you won't get this kind of image. You may get her image individually, but he created some unique image by taking some background and placing the image on top of that. So because of the image selection, it is looking really beautiful. See here, the background color is white and the image background is also white. That's why it is appearing like very beautiful photo here. Okay, so that's why choosing the images is really very important, and also the colors of the images. So they designed these images only for their website. At that time, they have taken the matching color for this background. They already decided the background is light gray. So to match this light gray color, they have chosen this color and also this color. And for example, if you want to use these colors in your application, you really don't know the name of this color, but you like this color and you want to use it. Then in Chrome, there is an extension called as Color Picker. Okay, so the Color Picker is the extension. You can install that extension. Okay, so the name of this is Color Picker. So I will show you how to install that extension also. Click on Manage Extensions. So the name of extension is Color Picker. Okay, so when you go to the Chrome extensions, here you can find things. So this is the extension I prefer to use. Its name is Color Picker. This is already installed into my browser. So what is the benefit of this Color Picker means? After installing it, for example, if you like this color, right click on the color. Then you can find an option called as Pick a Color on the page. Click on it. Then you can move the cursor to the location wherever you want. For example, if you want to use this color, keep cursor on it. It will show the hexadecimal code of the color, #E9E800. That is the color. And if you want to use this color, so it is 616043. And if you want to use this light green color, 73D7B9. Okay, and if you look at this one, this is not pure black actually. Okay, it is 1C, 1D, 1F. And if you take the text color, okay, and also background is FF. Okay, in that way you can use your favorite color. So when you click on it, that color will be copied and you can start using the color in your application. Okay, for example, if you want to use this color in your application, same story, right click and pick the color on this page. You can see the color code will start appearing and you can use that color in your application wherever you want. because choosing color is really very toughest part. So it actually takes a lot of time to get the right combination. If the design is excellent, but the color combination is not good, definitely it spoils the beauty of the application. So to choose such kind of colors, take the support of some simple photo editing tools, and also take the support of very simple and very useful plugin, that is Color Picker. So by using these tools, you can design your application very, very easily. Okay, that is completed. So why I am explaining you all these things means, especially to create the photo slideshow, first downloading the right images is the first important thing, because the images should follow some color theme. And if the images are not in the same size, try to crop them instead of expanding the images beyond their limit. Instead of changing the shape of the image, crop all the images which you are going to place in part of this carousel to the same width and same height. Then the carousel really looking good. So that is the first thing. But as of now in my application, I have some images, but these images are not of the same size. Okay, but I would like to manually resize them. But when you manually resize them by using width and height properties, sometimes the image will shape out. Okay, that's why never try to do that. But as of now, I don't have these photo editing tools all are installed in my MacBook. That's why I'm going to explain you by using these images here, by resizing them by using manual dimensions. You can take as many images as you need. I'm going to use some 3 or 4 images for this carousel here. Okay, so now let us start creating the carousel. Here I want to create the carousel. Let me collapse this off canvas. We no need to work with that. That's carousel. So how can we create the very simple carousel in our application? Remember, to create the very simple carousel, we are going to use the carousel class first of all. Let me show you the classes. First, we should use the carousel class. Now, we can create two kinds of things. One of them is the slide effect. Next one is the fade effect. So I will show you the difference between these two. So slide effect is very old approach actually, but the fade effect is very modern and looking very stylish. Okay, anyhow, I will show you the difference between the slide carousel as well as fade kind of carousel also very practically. So let me take the div element here and apply the class called as carousel and the basic class called as the slide. Okay, so now this carousel is going to get the slide effect. So that is the first one. So here, to start this sliding process, we have to use a special new attribute again, that is data BS write. Up to now, we worked with the attributes data BS target, data BS dismiss, data BS toggle. Okay, and the new attribute that we are using for the carousel is data BS write. What is the meaning of write means? In the photo slideshow, the image will write the other image. That is called as write effect. That's why here, to initiate that, definitely we should use data BS write. And what kind of write we are expecting? Carousel write. Okay, so that is the another important thing that we have to give here. Okay, now the parent element is completed. And what should we place instead of this? So the carousel contains the carousel inner. And instead of the carousel inner, we are going to make carousel item, and each item is an image. How simple it is. That means here I am going to take the carousel inner. And instead of the inner, you are going to take the carousel items one by one. For example, let me take item 1 here. If I teach you how to design one item, you can use same idea to design the other items also. Okay, carousel item, and instead of the item, you're going to place the image. For example, let me take some image from my project. I'm not sure about the size. Actually, they are big in size. I'm going to resize them by giving some width as 600 pixels. And let me give the height also, because these images are of different heights. I want to give them same height. definitely they won't look good because of manual resizing in this way. So the original shape will be lost. But I already explained you the reason. You can better crop them instead of doing this manipulation here. Okay, now the first item is ready. In the same way, you can create as many items as you need. So now I'm going to write the second item and the third item. So to make it simple, just I have taken 3 items here. So in the other items, let me simply change the images. Image 2 here and image 3 here. Okay, so now the carousel is ready, guys. I have taken the carousel parent class, and instead of that we have taken the carousel inner. The carousel inner is going to contain the carousel item. Each item is nothing but an image here. So it is ready. Let us see how it appears on the page. You cannot find any carousel here. Why? Because carousel should not wait for the user action, because just like the this particular off canvas or modal, it should not wait for the user action. It should start immediately once the page has loaded. For that purpose, we use this carousel. No one is interested to see the photo slideshow by clicking on some button. So why this photo slideshow is not started means, if you want to start the photo slideshow upon page loading, you need to make one of the items as active. Here you have taken some n number of items. Of course, 3 here, you can take n number of items. You have to make one of them as active. So now I make the first item as active by writing the class called as active. Now you can start observing this. Okay, so now you can see the photo slideshow will be started. See here, now it is working. So the width I have given only something like 600 pixels. Instead of that, I can give 100% width. I have no issues with the width. That's why I'm giving the 100% width. And the height is limited to just 500 pixels. Now you can see, so the carousel slideshow has started. But important thing is, when you keep the cursor on the slideshow will be halted. See here, now my cursor is on one of these slides. Now the slideshow won't run. That means when you want to observe an image or when you want to stop the carousel, just you can keep the cursor on the carousel, then it stops sliding. If you want to make the carousel run again, keep the cursor aside of this one, away from that. Once you keep the cursor away from the carousel, then you can start seeing the slideshow is happening automatically. Now you can find some delay between these. Even you can adjust this delay. I am going to teach you very soon now, today itself. So how can we adjust the delay? So they have given some moderate delay here. So if we increase the speed, the photos will move with high speed. At that time, the users cannot observe the content of the image. If you make it very slow, users have no patience to wait for the next slide here. By keeping that point in mind, they have given some moderate delay between them. Still, it is customizable. If you don't like this delay, you can set the delay manually, and the delay is not required to be uniform for all the slides. For some slides you can give more delay, for some slides you can give less delay, depending upon the content of the image itself. Anyhow, the basic slideshow is ready, guys. Okay, the basic carousel is ready, and this is the way we can do that. Okay, so the next one is, I'm going to create some captions. Okay, creating captions is simple. Let us finish this first. Later we can go for the icons as well as indicators. So what is the meaning of caption basically? Remember, caption in the sense, along with the image, if you want to write some text on top of that. Okay, so sometimes image won't have the text. You want to place some text on top of the image properly. For example, if you look at this, they are just displaying the images here. I want to write something about my website on top of the image. For that purpose, we can use carousel caption class. How can we do that? It is also really very simple. You can go inside of one item. I will teach you how to do that for one item, and we can repeat the same process for every item. Go to the item here, that is carousel item. After the image, you can take a div element and apply the class called as carousel-caption. Okay, so once you write the carousel-caption here, That's it. You can place the content whatever you want. For example, here I want to place some content here, that is title 1 I have placed here. Okay, and after that you can do whatever you want. For example, lorem 6 words I have taken. Okay, let us see how it appears. Open the carousel. Now the title, the content is appearing outside of the image actually, but we are expecting this should appear on top of that. Okay, so here let us see carousel hyphen caption. I have not given a typo here. See here, the spelling is wrong. Carousel caption I have given. When the class name is incorrect, it add as the next element to this one. Let me correct this. Give caption. When you give it caption, observe here, the text is appearing on top of the image at the bottom of the image. Actually, this text is not existed on the image. We placed this text on top of the image so that we are able to select the text here. Now you can place whatever the text you want. Just for example demonstration, I have added some title as well as a simple paragraph. You can add some hyperlinks, but it is not good to add much content because the slide will stay for very few time here. If you dump more content here, no one is interested to read it. Just you can mention some highlight points here as that one. So now you can add the same stuff. See here, designing for one time is difficult. Once the design is over, reusing it is really simple, and you can make some changes. Title 2 and title 3. Now you can see here. So keep the cursor away from the carousel. Then the carousel has started, and you can see the specific content on top of this carousel. Okay, like that, you can add the text, and for the text you can change the colors. You can increase the font size, and you know the typographic classes of the Bootstrap or CSS, and you can use them to style more effective way here. Okay, that is completed. And the next one here, at the same time I will show you the fade effect also. Okay, before going to discuss about these icons as well as indicators, I have just demonstrated you the slide. Now I want to show the fade effect. Let us see how it appears. Along with the slide, you can apply the new class called as carousel fade. Now you can see extraordinary carousel. Observe carefully. Actually, the photos are not getting moving one from right side to left side. That is, sliding is not happening. Instead of that, one is replacing other with a smooth animation. See, suddenly it is not getting changed. Slowly it is changed to the other image. This is called as the fade effect. Okay, so the routine slide effect is boring. When you use this new feature which is added in Bootstrap 5, you can make some part of the, that means in a single web page you can make some carousels as what is that, as some sliding kind of effect, and some other slides with the fade effect like this. Finally you can make the content really very beautiful. Okay, so in that way we can create the carousel slide as well as carousel fade also. These are completed. And the next thing is how to adjust the delay here. Let us focus delay, then all carousel miscellaneous concepts are completed. Then we can go for indicators as well as the icons also. So as of now, there is some moderate delay between the consecutive slides here. How can I adjust that? To adjust that, we will use a special attribute called data BS interval. Okay, so that is the special attribute. One more attribute we can use to decide the interval between the consecutive slides. It will take the value, that is time in milliseconds. For example, now let's go to the carousel here, go to the first item. So now I want to make the first item BS-interval is equal to, okay. So now if I have given 2000 here, that means 2000 milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds is a second. 2000 milliseconds means 2 seconds. Now this first item will stay in 2 seconds. Okay, it will stay for 2 seconds in the image slideshow. Now use the spellings properly. Okay, so now for the second one, I want to increase this delay to some 4 seconds. For example, I feel the second one is important, so it should stay more time than the other slides. So I have given the interval as 4000, means it is going to stay for 4 seconds. And for the third one here, you can write this as some 1 second. That means immediately the slide will be moved actually. So now let us remove the crossfade effect and check how it appears. Let's keep cursor away. See, the second slide is going to stay some more time. Then the third one is moving immediately. First one for 2 seconds. This is for 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is for 1 second. Immediately it has moved. Like that, you can take the control of this delay also. If you do not take the control, it will take some uniform delay among all. Now you can make it as non-uniform also. Now it is not uniform. So first item will stay for 2 seconds, second one for 4 seconds, third one for 1 second, and this value is milliseconds. Okay, like that you can do that. So now let me add, see the same in fade effect, same thing will happen here. So the second is going to stay for 4 seconds, and third one immediately it will be moved to the first sign, and so on. Okay, so like this we are going to create the delay also. All important properties of the carousel are completed. Now it is time to focus on the first one is icons, previous icon and next icon. Okay, let us complete that. They are called as the controls actually. Now the thing is, what is the need of controls? Observe here, I have taken some 10 images or 15 images in this slideshow. Now the first slide is running. If you want to see the 8th slide, or if you want to see the next slide or previous slide, I should wait. For example, if you want to move the next, if you want to see the next slide, we know we can do nothing. Just you can just wait, automatically the next slide will come. But if you want to see the previous slide, so we have to wait until all the first slideshow is completed. Then again it will be restarted. Then I can see. But that is not correct. That's why I'm going to keep two controls here. One control help us to move to the immediate previous slide, and other control for the immediate next slide. You may ask, sir, why to place immediate next slide here indicator? Because if the current slide is boring, you may not even bear for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Then you can click on it so that it will take you to the next slide immediately. So let us try to keep two controls here. One control to move this to the immediate previous, and this is for immediate next. Okay, how can we do that? So for that purpose, we are going to use these classes. Okay, so the first one is actually we are going to take two buttons, but on top of the button we are going to use the icons. We are not going to write any text, because if you write some text, it doesn't look good. So that let us place some icons. Previous icon means some less than, and next icon means greater than. So when you look at those kind of icons, they are quite meaningful than writing some text on top of the buttons. Okay, so first let me design one button here. You can use the same idea with the different classes for the next also. So now let us go to the VS Code here, and now here I'm going to create the thing. So the third item is completed here. Carousel inner is completed. Okay, let me collapse the carousel inner. Now I'm going to place the controls here, previous and next controls. For the purpose, I will take the button. Okay, so for the button, I can apply the class carousel hyphen control hyphen prev. The name of the class is prev here. Okay, so the name of the class is prev. Prev stands for previous, next stands for next. So once you learn how to use these two classes, so the same designing for this also with the different class names, and the class name just changed in their term. It is prev, it is next. Okay, now the button is ready. Yeah, now the button is ready here. Now on top of the button, I need to place the icon. I already explained you how to place icons on top of the button. For that purpose, we can use the span element. So the icon name is carousel hyphen control hyphen prev hyphen icon. That is the name of the icon. Carousel hyphen control hyphen prev hyphen icon. So now on top of the button that icon has placed, let us go to the thing and see. Do you find any icon here? Okay, so that here once you refresh, you cannot see any icon in this place. No icon is appearing. So what is the reason here? The reason is we have to set this target and you have to give the property data BS slide. Another property we have to use here, that is data hyphen BS hyphen slide. This is also new attribute we can use only in this. So the value is prev. When you give this property new attribute, okay, just reload this page. So still you could not see anything here. Okay, check the spelling once. Carousel hyphen control OUSEL carousel control hyphen prev, and the icon is carousel hyphen control hyphen prev hyphen icon. Yes, that is fine. Okay, everything is fine. And the next thing is, whenever we click on this button, it should take us to the previous icon. The previous icon means definitely it is related to the carousel. It is not something outside of the carousel. That's why I have to connect the entire carousel for this button. So for that purpose, go to the carousel parent class and take some ID here. That is, you can take images, for example. You can take the ID whatever you want. And now we have to connect. That means data hyphen BS hyphen target is equal to hash images. Okay, so now we have placed the content also here. So now I could not see that icon still. Let us inspect these elements. The carousel inner is existed. Button class user control previous data BS slide data BS target carousel control previous icon. Actually, you'll get some icon here. And what has missed here? So most of the times it will be happened because of the typos here. Typos in the sense the class names, because these class names are a little bit lengthy. So because of those things, it may not work. So the carousel inner is ready. It is absolutely fine. And the controls button class carousel hyphen control hyphen prev and data BS target is, we have given the ID here, and data BS slide to the previous, and icon is carousel control prev icon. Okay, let us place the next icon also, and then I can restart the server once manually. So just I have copy pasted this button. Now I can just replace the pre with next. Control next icon. Okay, I have placed it these two buttons. As of now, still those buttons are not appearing. Let me open with live server again. Let us inspect this once. Go to carousel caption, carousel item, and carousel previous. Okay, so the button is existed. Carousel previous button and the carousel next button. Okay, so the icons are appearing here. Yeah. So they are existed, guys. See here, they are existed here. On the top, you can see that whenever I click on it, it is working. But actually, they should place here itself. So this may be because of the height of the things. Let me do one thing. Let's go to the carousel items, and for each image, let me apply the class as d-block to make the block level element. So whenever you do not see the proper elements, don't get confused. You can just take the inspect tool and verify. So now you can see these icons are appearing very close to the top. So that I think I placed it in the wrong location. This is div element opening and this is closing. Let me keep them instead of this inner. Let's check. This is carousel inner and this is total carousel. Instead of the carousel, I have taken the carousel inner in this place, and the buttons are the separate elements here. Let me change the height of one of them. I have removed the height for one of the items and check now. So still it is appearing top. So it is not the issue here. Width 100% we have given. Okay, guys, I will check it and update you when I'm sharing this link to you. I will identify because here it seems to be everything perfect, but definitely some typo is there. I could not identify the typo at this moment. Okay, so anyhow, you can see the icons. Actually, these icons will appear at the center of this carousel, but they are here very top so that you could not able to see them in this way. And let me take this container and margin 0. Okay, I will check and update this. So as of now, you can see this greater than symbol, which is in white color. That's why 50% is outside, 50% inside, and here also the same. So actually when they place here, then finally it will be appear like this. Okay, so it will be appear like this. As of now, it is placed here because of some reasons. I will check and update. Otherwise, they will appear in this way here. The greater than symbol, less than kind of symbols will be. Okay, so someone has identified that. Maybe you can fix it later, or else I will share the link once I made some modifications here. Very slight modification is required. I will take care of that, don't worry. Okay, so the controls are completed. Once the controls are completed, next what should we take care of? So as of now, the slideshow is starting successfully. Okay, and after that we have placed the indicators also successfully, so that the controls we place, the controls working perfectly and all are fine. Now why should we place the indicators? Actually, indicators in the sense they will appear something like this. Okay, so the purpose of these indicators is, so let us take the same use case. I have some 10 slides here. Now the second slide is going on. I want to go for the 6th slide. So these controls cannot solve the problem, because If you want to go to the sixth slide, I have to click on this icon for 4 times. These controls help us just to go to the immediate previous slide or immediate next slide. But when the second slide is running, if you want to go for 8th slide, I need to click on these buttons for 6 times. That is not, that won't give the good user experience. That's why I can keep some indicators here with respect to the number of images. For example, if 10 images are here, I can create 10 indicators. So the purpose of the indicators is whenever we click on the specific indicator, the slide associated with the indicator will be displayed here. Then even if the second slide is running, if you want to watch the 8th slide, you can just click on the 8th indicator, so that from the second indicator directly it will load the 8th slide here itself. So that is the benefit, but that option will be useful when you have multiple images here, not for 2 or 3 images. Okay, how can we create such kind of indicators? So for the indicators, we are going to use another new attribute, data bs slide 2. Okay, so this is the another new attribute we are going to use. So let us start creating the indicators here. So now let me collapse this carousel here, and now I'm going to place indicators. Okay, now the controls are here. Carousel inner, the main content is there. Now I'm going to create the indicators. Here, let me write the comment, that is main content. Main content is always part of the carousel inner. Now I'm going to write the indicator here. So how many indicators you have to create that are proportional to the number of images we used? In this, the carousel inner contains 3 things, so that we are going to create the 3 buttons. Each button we are going to make it as an indicator. So first let us see how to design one button. Later we can use the same code for the remaining also. So now I have taken the button. Okay, and here first we need to connect this button with the carousel. That means data bs target. So it is targeted to this main carousel, parent class carousel, so that we can write hash images. That is the first one, because this button indicators are talking to the carousel, and these buttons, these controls are also connected to this carousel. That's why we are connecting the ID of the parent class for the indicators as well as the controls also. That is the first one. So it is connected. And after that, we have to use the property data bs slide 2. This is the new attribute. Remember, the items are ranging from 0 to n. The first slide is represented with number 0. Second slide represent with 1. Third slide with represent 2. That means here, when I click on the button, it should slide to 0 means the first one. That is the meaning of the statement. Okay, and you can make one of these items as active. So the class is active. Once you make the first item as active, so automatically it start working. That's it, guys. It is ready. Now, once the design is over, let us keep the same design 3 times. Second one and the third one. Here I can change this to 1 and this to 2. 0, 1, 2 are completed. You can make only one of them as active, not all. Okay, on top of the button, you don't need to write anything, because this will place the icon on top of the button automatically. Okay, so let us see here. Open the carousel. Data bs target, we have connected to the target. Data bs slide 2, we have given. Data bs slide 2, data bs slide. Yeah, I forgot to keep all these things inside of the parent class. What is the parent class here? Carousel indicators. Okay, so I should keep all these buttons inside of it. That has missed here. Okay, so now they are placed here successfully. So now you need to make all these buttons as the children of carousel indicators. Okay, so now let us open and check here. So still the indicators are not appearing. Let us reload this page and let me inspect this page again. Carousel indicators here. Okay, the indicators are placed on top here. So the indicators are placed on the top. Okay, so that's why you could not able to see these indicators properly. Yeah, data BS write is carousel. Sorry, data BS write here we need to set this to true. That is a mistake. Let us reload this page. Class carousel slide data BS write is true. SCL carousel indicators is the class, and we place these three buttons, and for each button data BS target, data BS slide 2. So all the attributes are also correct here. Yeah, so the remaining buttons also should be connected. I forgot to keep the target here. That is another mistake. Let me copy that. Okay, for each button the target need to be connected. Even after placing the target, still these icons are appearing on the top. So what is the reason for the delay here? Let us find the space. Carousel indicators are placed on top of this. Actually they should be placed below it, and this is HTML element here. Margin top 5. The indicators and so the design is correct, guys, but some class name has missed here. So because of this reason, so all the content is has moved up. See here, the things, the indicators are also existed, but these indicators are existed on the top of the slideshow, and this content is also moved to the top of the page. That's why we could not see the indicators. Okay, so anyhow I will fix this, and which correction is required to make width 100% and height 500 pixels we have given for everything. So image is also correct, carousel inner is also correct, and regarding the remaining classes I need to verify. Okay, anyhow I will verify this, and I will update you in the next 5 minutes. Okay, once the session is over I will make the necessary changes here, and I can share the code, and in the code I will mention the comments also, so that which part is has corrected in this, because everything is perfect but still it is not working as we expected. Actually the controls are placed and the indicators are placed. Of course, captions are working perfectly and slideshow is also working perfectly. The only issue is placement of these indicators and controls. The controls are placed and they are working. See here, the previous one is working and the next is also working. And indicators are also placed on top of that and it is still working, but they are not appearing properly. So if you want to see the indicators, I want to move this image a bit down by taking the top, and there you can see. Once you keep the cursor here, okay, so the buttons are existed there but they are not available to use. That means in this design, so it is an issue with some div element. I have closed the div element incorrectly somewhere else. That's why all the remaining content has moved up a bit. Anyhow I will fix it and let you know. That's it, guys. So these are the Bootstrap components that we are going to use in our application every time. See, the controls will appear like this below the captions and the indicators. Now this entire set has moved up. That's why we could not able to observe them on the screen properly. So anyhow, I will fix it and share with you in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And the Bootstrap is completed, guys. And these all are the components that we are using. Now let's go to the website getbootstrap.com. So go to the read docs here. In this read docs, you can go to the components. So in the components, along with the components what we learned, so many other components are there. Okay, for example, you can go for the spinners. So spinners, it is very simple to use. Just it contains only one class, that is spinner border. Okay, so when you are creating the buttons, when some content is loading, you can use these kind of loading effect. Okay, like that, so many other components are also available. We can work with all these other components on the demand, because most of the components are not really very useful in the real world applications. So the most frequently used components we already discussed, and the design is also completed. So when we need to work with some other components, for example, if you want to work with some list group or some pagination, actually the pagination also we are going to implement using React.js, not with Bootstrap. Okay, popovers, progress bars, if they are really required to us, then we can dynamically visit this website and you can take the content. For example, if you want to use the progress, click on the progress, it will give you the complete information how to create the progress, something like. But the progress has to be updated using JavaScript. So 10%, 20%. So to update the progress, Bootstrap can do nothing. We have to take the support of the JavaScript, and depending upon the status of downloading or loading, so we have to either increase or decrease the size of this progress. So we can do all these things dynamically when we start the application development process. Okay, guys, it is enough for the day. So all of you practice the concepts, whatever we discussed up to now. On tomorrow, we are going to create a layout, and on day after tomorrow also another layout. So during the designing of these layouts, I will teach you what are the other important parts that you need to take care. So the challenge always is working with individual elements is always easy. For example, if you want to work with badge, when you click on the badge, it will give you the way to create the badge. That is absolutely fine. But when you are developing the web page, we have to take many components and other CSS styles, and we should place them in the right location, and we should organize the page. And finally, we need to make the page as responsive. That is really challenge. When we are working with all these components together in a page, placement of the elements, behavior, and exhibiting the behavior of the elements, that is really very challenge. Okay, so that's why once you learn the designing of the page with live demos on tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, automatically you will get the complete picture of developing, where to start, where to close, and what are the other areas we need to focus. Because on tomorrow's session, I'm going to use the Google fonts as well as font awesome icons, hexadecimal colors, some universal styles. By taking all these things, if I give the demonstration of designing the layout, you can use the same idea to design the other layouts also. Okay, we will meet on tomorrow. So practice all the concepts, whatever you learned till now. We will meet on tomorrow and deal with the full-fledged demos of these layouts. And I will share this link to you today by making the necessary changes. And you can post your doubts in the chat box. That means in WhatsApp.